All right. So what's up? So okay, answering viewers. Jimmy wants to know, okay, what do you make of Miro and Andrade supposedly asking for their releases and the general growing exodus from AEWWE? Okay, so that was good, but it ain't worth the food crumbs. Okay, so all right, just to be blunt, I don't necessarily. This is gonna be hard. I don't thoroughly care, not in the way that you think. Here's the deal. Think about how Miro was used. That's a wrestler. Okay, it's a job, right? Pro wrestling is a job. What's the biggest question a pro wrestler asks any promoter? Any promoter, where they ask, how are you going to use me? That's what they want to know. How are you going to use me? So, how did they use him? Miro got in and he looked dumb. Okay, let's just keep it real. He looked dumb. And then after, it took a bit, but then it was like, okay, let's use you properly. Then he started being the beast, not doing too much. The whole, religious thing he was doing. Look, I'm not a religious person. I'm not going to stop anyone from being religious. But, man, I'm going to be honest with you. He had me convinced of his own belief. I'm like, this dude believes what he's saying. This guy is angry. This guy wants to succeed. So I was there. I was believing his words. It was doing great. And then he won the TNT title. Great. And swimming. I was like, this guy he's a beast. He's a monster. Keep it up. What else did he do? Then, he ultimately lost the title. And shouldn't have lost it. Who was it? What's his dumbass name? Sammy Guevara. Lost it to him. We found the kink. It's the DDT. I was annoyed by that. I was annoyed. And what should have happened was that he found a way to break it. He should have found a way around it. But okay, fine. After this awesome run as TNT champion, what does he do? He vanishes. Right? He vanishes. There's nowhere for him. He's just off TV. So Tony Khan probably did what? We got nothing for you right now. So, just give us a little bit of time and, we'll have something. And it was a few months. And then he comes back and he's angry. He's lost the title. Why is you forsaking me? He's done all this other stuff. And I believe what he's saying, man. He is angry, and now he's like, God, I'm going to take your throne. I was like, wow. Okay. He's not being used properly. He's being beat by those weaker than him. And this guy is awesome. The fans are behind him. The fans believe him. This guy, he tried to be a monster and a heel, but he can't because he comes across as real. The fans are cheering the bad guys because they are really applauding their work ethic. They start off small, work their way up to a finish. They don't start off with the big epic moves. They don't spam finishers and stuff. No. There is a rhyme, there is a reason, and they were standing out. Think about currently right now. Jay Lethal has been a heel maybe 3 matches after he arrived, which he lost all of them, except for the one on Dark. No, 2 on Dark and a couple of tag matches on Dark. But he's been a heel, but the fans keep cheering him. As much as a heel, and Jeff Jarrett versus Ric Flair and Flair's son-in-law, Andrade El Idolo, they were heels. Lethal, Jarrett, heels. The fans watch that. They know what happened with that at StarCast. And, I guess, maybe Jay came out a little bit as babyface at the end when the show was about to go off, and they had to cut it real quick before they showed everything. But then he comes back here to AEW, and the fans are cheering him. He's got to remind the fans that he's heel. Shut up, telling everybody to shut up and stuff when they start applauding him. Because they recognize good work when they see it. All right. And look, Jim Cornette has not really been very thorough on the definition of work is. So that's thrown me off. Disco Inferno on K100. I listened to what he had to say about work, and I was like, thank you. Basically, simplistically is this. Work is when you sell, or you're not selling the move, but you're giving the move and you make it look real. That's working. You make it look real. Not, he did a 450 and it looked like he really landed on him. No, you make the battle look like it could actually almost happen in the street, but it's in a wrestling ring. So there's subtle augments. Okay? That's the idea. And if you're going to come off the top rope, that person needs to be beat down and too hurt to get up. That's really how that should look. And so explaining what work is, I'm like, thanks. Now I got an absolute definition. And so I think all y'all should go with that too. And because of that definition, and because some people are understanding that more and more, even though they could probably weave through other explanations better than I ever could, they're looking at people like Orange Cassidy, Sammy Guevara, and things like that. And they're seeing them not working. And even though they're not working, because you can brain bust them and then they're at 100%. Just think about that. If someone picked me up and brain busted me, I'm not getting up. And if I do get up, if I am all right, I don't think I'm going to be absolutely all right. They're not affected. Not at all. So, oh my God. So yeah, Miro. Working with people that ain't working. Oh, they're hurt. They're beat down. Then they get up like nothing's wrong and they keep countering and fighting back like nothing's wrong. And then you're not getting used? Yeah. Not getting used and not getting people to work with them. And Miro, I would say he's a good worker. I ain't gonna say great, but I certainly do believe he's a good worker. And so, yeah, he wanting to leave, have at it, Hoss. Andrade El Idolo, he wants to leave. Now both of them came from WWE. Andrade, now I'm gonna get to a shocking why I said I don't really care too much. I'm gonna get to that. Andrade gets there, he gets matches, he gets to be a heel, and people he was a babyface when he showed up because people cheered him like crazy. Just think about that. They cheer everybody that show up, right? It's not about heels, it's not about faces. It's, are you a star? Are you popular? Do we recognize you? Yes, we cheer. That's not, I understand it because they're really the whole, you jumped ship and came here. I get that. And they weren't used well where they came from. I get that. But Andrade El Idolo, he's not a great talker. His accent is heavy. His vocabulary is small. But it doesn't, to be a good orator, you don't necessarily need a big vocabulary. You don't need to be loquacious either. But at the same time, you certainly do need to be able to get your point across. He doesn't necessarily get his point across. I think that's my issue with him. And although I'm used to listening to various accents and dialects, it don't faze me so much. But what fazes me is the fact that he's got to fight his own accent and not cross languages and mess that up. It makes me feel bad for him, and I wish he had an English coach. You know, Charlotte help him out. You know, Rick help him out. But he's not used. And then he gets into the Hardy family office, which was a sorry, failed faction. And then he got into it and added somebody. So now there's the Hardy Andrade family office or something. And nothing happened in Hardy. And then Jeff shows up and Matt is like, bye. Leave you high and dry. It's yours. You can have it. Nothing's going on with it. And you could tell that's what happened. Nothing's going on with this. You can have it. You know, sort of like the factory. It was the Nightmare Factory. Cody's gone. It's the factory. What good are they? Not. They are weak. They could be better. I see how, but they'll never do it. And so Andrade has nothing. And then Roosh, he shows up. And he was the one that helped start Los Ingobernables and the branch in New Japan, Los Ingobernables de Japón. That's led by Naito Tetsuya. So now Roosh, he comes in. He's joined up with, I think, no, I see. Originally, I was like, Andrade started it, but I think Roosh started it and quickly got Andrade in there because Roosh, he talks like a boss. He talks like a boss. His English vocabulary is limited, but he's with purpose. You know what he wants. You know what he's saying, and he can back it up. But even though Roosh got there, hey, I'm here. Let's fist bump. Let's do this. Then he don't show up. He's gone. And then you don't see him again until it's him versus his brother. And then he gets into a match, a title match that he loses. He beats his brother, loses to the Goon. There's no space in AEW for Roosh to grow. And so Roosh is probably unhappy. And he's probably not really contracted. I don't know. He's contracted with Ring of Honor. Andrade is certainly not happy. He's not getting used. So, I mean, yeah, them asking for their release, logical, exceedingly logical. Now, why do I not care so much? The reason I don't care so much is because Vince McMahon is forced to retire. There you go. Vince McMahon, the king of Cartoonadia, he's forced to leave WWE per se. And because of that, Triple H, the person that he got rid of, he's back. He's back. And he's in charge with Stephanie. I don't know what their absolute roles are. But Triple H, what did he? I saw a thing where he said we're gonna focus on wrestling and getting wrestling going. And after that, good grief, was I happy about something else? Triple H is gonna be in charge. And they're going on what Jim Cornette said, that Triple H is like, you know, we're using those words again, like calling them a wrestler. And there's changes being made. And while I am very curious at the same time, when this change happened, I said, okay, I'm gonna have to give it about a month or two before everything is finite. Everyone is so impatient and don't understand that it takes time for things to go on. When SummerSlam happened, they were like, yes, there's a difference. We can see it. No, it's not yet. He's got to get rid of all the influence, change everything, get these people to understand that there is a change, and it's going to be permanent. It's going to be a bit. And now, with Triple H taking over, hopefully in a less stressful way, because, you know, I don't personally like Triple H. Not that he's done anything personal to me, but I don't like what he has done in the past, and he didn't care. You know, I don't like that. I don't like that he buried one called Kenny Anderson, and Mr. Kennedy. I don't like that he did that. I don't like that he nationally buried Chris Masters. When Chris he was huge, obviously jacked up on stuff, because that's what you got to do to be a part of that. And then when he came back, he was injured. He got off the stuff, stayed in shape, and he asked Triple H for some advice. He goes, "What? How to lose 50 pounds in in a month or so, something like that?" And Masters had to bite his tongue, because he could have said a litany of stuff, and he didn't, because he knew Triple H had that pull, and Triple H is the one that could get him released, fired, or whatnot. And if he was like, "Well, no, I wanted tips on how to stay so jacked up without getting caught," yeah, that would have done a lot, and you know it. So Triple H being back, I'm not happy about him, period. But he wants to put wrestling, that W word, back into the W part of world wrestling. So will it stay entertainment, or will it change into something else? Don't know. But there's a chance that because he's back, Miro and Andrade, and going on the exodus of others, he might be giving them calls to come back. You might, get paid less, but what's important? Two things. They will be used better, and they will be able to work better. And I'm sure WWE has ways to say, look, you're not good here, but you're all right here. So let's do that. Let's get you working. Let's get you noticed. They've got 3 shows. NXT, does it need to be a training ground? It needs to be a ground equal to Raw, equal to SmackDown. That's what it needs to be. If Triple H and WWE smart, this is going beyond that, but if they're smart, and I talked to Cedric about this, we were talking about it last night, and it was just, I wanted to put it on commentary, but it was late night, and it was just, we're talking to get it out. But the thing is, people love ECW. They still do. People still love WCW. With a lot of wrestlers that they got, just hear me out for those that stuck around this long. If they ran ECW, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, they need to put ECW back and have it tour Pennsylvania. Okay? And maybe a couple of bordering states, but that could be its territory. ECW runs that. That's it. It can be ran by Paul Heyman from afar, because Paul Heyman what's he got? Roman Reigns and that. And then at some point, at some time, he's going to leave that as the cash cow runs out. And then he's going to do what? Get with Brock Lesnar or whoever else that they can push, or say, hey, push this guy. So Paul Heyman could run ECW from afar, new talent. Because ECW, when I remember it was wrestling. It had some goofy stuff up there, and I wasn't a fan of it, but predominantly it was wrestling. And I enjoyed it. And then what else? WCW. They could do that. WCW, don't go to Georgia. Leave Georgia alone. Let the NWA have Georgia. But WCW could have North Carolina, South Carolina, parts of Virginia. Okay, West Virginia and West Virginia. And that could be the territory, run weekly shows. That's it. You've got a lot of wrestlers. Wrestlers need a place to work. Make those areas like that. You own it. Use it. Just to buy a company and say archive it. No, use it. Be smart. Use it. And we know you own it. Okay, we get it. You own it. We know you own it. You know what you do now? You do the next thing, say, hey, look, these people are going to be in charge of it, and that's just how it's going to be. And over time, people will kind of forget about all that because they'll be watching the wrestling, and then they'll have to go into this part. I think they're trying to take over one. I think ECW is trying to take over SmackDown. They're going to do an invasion or something, and that'll be in the next 5 years. I think that's what they need to do. They can do that. They can get away with it. WCW, they're trying to do the Monday Night Wars again. You've got 5 shows: ECW, WCW, SmackDown, Raw, NXT. That's your Monday through Friday. And because Triple H will be doing wrestling, because he's doing wrestling, and is going to have, hopefully, work ethic, matches that make sense, short matches, long matches. You know, when I say a short match, I'm talking about a squash match. It should be 2 minutes after the bell. Maybe that. I don't know. It could be less, depending upon. At the same time, a short match can also be 5 minutes. And if it's 2 contenders and whatnot, then what you do is you chill. And you have them wrestle for like, I'll say about 9 minutes. That should be good enough. A good 9-minute contenders match. And I'm playing this game too, y'all. So I'm like East. I gotta go East. Is this East? So you've got that in AEW. What are they trying to do? They're trying, let's see, Dark Elevation. Good grief. What else? Dynamite, Rampage, and now All Elite Women. So they're trying to get that. They'll have their 5 shows. But right now, both promotions are pretty much in the gutter, right? So WWE, they know what to do. Tony Khan is a fledgling. Tony Khan is a fledgling controlled by the Bucks and Jericho. And I wonder, because if you see Chris Jericho sort of leave that sports entertainment gimmick alone, if he leaves it alone and is like, you know what? The wrestling has sort of taught me a few things. Yeah. You know, I've learned a few things. Yeah. You know, I think that's when it's going to be obvious. He's trying to leave. He's trying to go WWE. So we'll have to see that. So if and me, because of Triple H, as what I said, but still, I might start watching WWE, but I got to give it some time. It's got to be set. We're gonna see what they do. I'll be listening to Jim Cornette. I'll be listening to K100. Let's see, and I will be listening to you, Zemo times 2, you being Jimmy Whisper, and anyone else who posts up here. Anyone else who's got something to say, a question, inform, or anything like that, I'm listening. And to see how WWE go. I'm not tribal. I just want to see good wrestling. And, you know, me and CJ, we watch NWA. We watch that. We got to get caught up on 2 episodes. Because the one is Tuesday, but the show's on Friday. Then they got the Saturday show. So we got to get caught up on that. At least do that tomorrow. And we post that on Spreaker. So look down there in the description, everybody, and you see Spreaker. You know, you can sign up. It's free and whatnot. And check there. I'm going to say check there every, I'm going to say Wednesday for new content. And if people ask questions up there, I'm going to try to answer those ASAP. Like, it's up there. I think I'll get a notification in email just like this. I got a notification in email and saw this. I didn't go to YouTube. I immediately just, I see it. I copied it out the email and I'm doing this. So I'm paying attention. I'm not, you know, I'm gonna have to have a lot of people wanting to talk before I'm like, okay, y'all, it's time to do the email thing so I can really clear this and get this done. So yeah, look, thank you for the questions, Jimmy Whisper. Okay, I always appreciate, questions and whatnot, my thoughts on such, and thank you. I deeply appreciate it. It's humbling, and I don't really have the words, I just don't. All I can say is thank you. And anyone else, Zimbo Times 2, and anyone else that asks questions. So I'm gonna stop this now and upload it. It's 2:56 a.m. It's August 9th, so early morning. And I got stuff to do anyway, besides play this game. And with that, thank y'all for listening. Y'all take care, and see you next time.